Hello guys, today is the first midweek crit of the year and it's at Mountbatten. It's actually really cold today. I thought it would be alright. It's not that alright. I'm like got gilet, jersey, everything, the lot, and yeah, it's pretty cold. And I think it might even be about to rain, fingers crossed. So yeah, bike's ready, legs are ready. Did a ride this morning, 90 minutes, a few sprints thrown in, and hopefully the legs are feeling good. Yeah, again, as usual with Mountbatten, there's not a huge field, so 15 or so riders.
That's not true, that's a lie.
So that'll be interesting. It always changes the dynamic a little bit. So yeah, let's just warm up and get into the race.
It doesn't really matter, 'cause I feel so free now.
Okay, so at the start of the race, I was well up for an Insta attack because it was cold, and I was like, well, the worst case scenario, I get warmed up quicker than everyone else, so might as well. I'm always pretty keen for that sort of stuff, if anything, just to make it interesting early on. Much to my surprise, we got a little bit of a gap pretty quickly, so I was like, right, let's press on here. I kind of feel bad for the guy who pulled off because I just surged really hard after he just did a turn, so sorry about that, but I was like, yeah, no, we need to make sure we get this gap solidified, and I knew that if we just kept the pressure on, it could actually end up growing into something. So yeah, the gap was still not too big, but we kept pressing on like pretty hard, and yeah, eventually a couple guys got dropped, a couple guys bridged across, so there was 5 of us, and yeah, we ended up getting a pretty big gap on the rest of the field. There was a few people trying to get across, but yeah, we were working pretty well together. I think no one was skipping turns or anything, and not long after we already had a good half lap advantage, so that was pretty good. And yeah, we really quickly actually managed to gain the full lap, that's the fastest I ever gained a lap at Mountbatten. And yeah, we sort of breezed straight through the bunch and went back to the front because it's sort of us 5 were in a separate race almost. And then these 2 guys who were in our group of 5 got off the front again, and I knew it was super dangerous because there was only 2 other guys in our group who would have any reason to chase. So I tried to, I didn't react initially when they went, which I regret because I knew I should have done, but I didn't want to drag the whole bunch, so I thought I'll just work my way back, get a good run up and get a good attack to bridge across, but by that time it was too far. And yeah, as much as I tried, I couldn't get across to them, and that was a little bit frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. I tried, and as you can see, they nearly gained a second lap, so they're nearly 2 laps up now. Here I was like one last ditch effort to try and just absolutely full send and try and, I don't know, maybe take another lap, initiate another move to do something, because obviously as soon as they get on, there's no way we're getting another lap without them marking us down. So absolutely, yeah, whacked it hard here, but it wasn't going to work. I think, yeah, there were enough people to bring me back. So unfortunately, didn't get away again. Those 2 guys managed to get on the back of our group, so that meant that the 3 of us from the original break were basically just fighting for third, 4th and 5th. Those 2 were fighting for 1st and 2nd, and everyone else was fighting for 6th. So then another group of what, 7 or 8 got away, and I missed that, and that was like, oh, that was scary because one of those guys was on the same lap as me, the guy in the blue kit at the back there, and I was like, oh, I need to get across to this. So yeah, bridged across solo to that. That was pretty hard. It's really hard to get away from the bunch solo, so it's just important to make sure I get a good speed up around the outside of the bunch and just whack it really hard so no one can respond. So just now coming into 2 laps to go, there was a good 8 of us. Obviously those 2 guys are 2 laps up. Me and the other guy in the light blue are 1 lap up. And yeah, so it's basically just us 2 fighting for 3rd, those 2 fighting for 1st and 2nd. And I'm just going to let the finish play out because there's not really much I can add. Also, sorry for the terrible video quality, I forgot my big camera, so my dad was using his phone. So, yeah.
From the day that I met you, I knew that I would love you till the day I die. And I will never want much more. And in my heart, I will always be sure I will never forget you. And you will always be by my side till the day I die. Day I die, 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 day I 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 day I.
Ended up with third, I think, which is pretty fun. We got in a break of 5 like right off the gun, which gained a lap pretty quickly. And then not long after, 2 of those guys gained another lap. And as soon as they went, I knew I should have responded, but I just couldn't quite respond at the time. So those 2 had another lap, so just 3 of us on 1 lap ahead of the bunch. And that was like lots of really tactical games, trying to work with the 2 guys off the front, like pick one of them. And obviously you got mutual, you know, you both have the goals of trying to get another lap and get away. So that was really interesting. And then sprint felt really good to take the bunch and third overall. So yeah, good sensations.